Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today I've decided to make a lampshade. I'm going to macrame on a lampshade, and I'm going to leave it on the lamp for now, but later I'm going to take all the lamp parts off, take the bottom part off, and just hang the shade from a chain from the ceiling and make a swag lamp out of it. That'll be later. Right now I just want to get the macrame on there. And to do this, I've got Bonnie's craft cord. It's a 4mm cord, so it's it's not as big as what I usually work with. It's kind of small, and it comes in 100-yard balls. I got that from Hobby Lobby. And so I'm thinking to do this, I am going to leave the lampshade intact and just macrame over it. So to do that, I've cut this little piece of cord and I just measured around the top of my lampshade and cut it to fit. So what I'm going to do here, you can see that I've got these bars here, and I'm wanting 15 ropes in between each one of these bars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this by lining up with one of these bars. I'm going to run my rope around it right along the top. If I can get it to do it, it's kind of hard. Right along the top. And I'm going to hot glue it right at where one of these bars meets the lampshade. I'm going to hot glue it there. So I've got my hot glue gun all ready. Oh, come on, work with me. Okay. I'm just going to put a dot there and put my rope on. Yeah, it's hot. Okay. There. That's going to hold my rope onto my lampshade. I'm running out of glue. Let me grab some more. Okay. Glue this. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm gluing this to the lampshade. Just a little dot and glue it down. Now, for the other ones, where these rods are coming over, I'm going to just tack glue it onto that. That gives me where my rope is loose in between, so I can put all the rest of my ropes on there. So I don't want a lot of glue on it at this point. Just a little. That one's already glued down. Okay. So now I can go on and put the rest of my ropes on it. My ropes have been cut to 4 foot each, and there are 45 of them. That's going to give me 15 ropes in between each one of these. Each section here is going to have 15 ropes in it, is what I'm hoping for. So to put this on, I'm going to take one of my ropes. It's about 4 foot long. Put the ends together. Go down and you got this loop. Now, oops, you take the loop. Let's get a better angle here. Take the loop and you put it in between your rope and the lampshade. And then you have that loop right there. Now you're going to tuck in the ends into that loop and pull them tight. And there's your lark's head knot, and it attaches your rope to your lampshade. So I'll be back to show you how all this looks. Okay, so I've got all of my ropes on the rope that goes around the top of the lampshade. Now, 15 ropes didn't fill up a section the way I wanted it to, so I put 15 or 20 on it instead. And that seemed to fill it up just fine. Now, the lampshade is split into 3 sections, so I'm going to work my piece in 3 sections. Each section is going to have 20 ropes on it. That equals 40 once you get them into your lark's head knots. Each rope will make 2 ropes. If you can see right here, this is 1 rope, but when you put it on there, it makes 2. So, we're going to count 10 ropes in this section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is going to be the middle of my section. You'll have 10 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, we're going to start right here with the 10th one from the left. Now, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to take the far left rope. That's going to be my traveling rope. I'm going to make double half hitches diagonal all the way to the end. To do a lark's head knot, I'm going to take the far left one on this 10th knot, 10th rope, the left rope, that's going to be my traveling rope. I take the one to the left of it, and I make a loop, bend it up in front and make a loop. There's the loop right there. Put my tail through, pull it through, and then pull the tail up tight. And I do that one more time. That's going to secure the knot. And then I go to the next one on the left, and I do that again. Twice to secure the knot. Okay, and I'm going to do that all the way to this end rope on the far left. Just every time moving over to the left. There's 1 and 2. And I'm just going to hold my rope diagonal down. Now, this traveling rope, your knots will go anywhere this traveling rope goes. If you want to make it up and down and squiggly, you can do that. You just move your rope whichever way you want. In this case, I'm just going to keep it diagonal down as straight as I can. Okay, so I got this one all done, but I wanted to show you, I've already got one section here done. And I want to try to keep these 2 double half hitches on each section right about the same, so they're going to line up for me. You can't see that. So they're going to line up for me later. And it's going to be practically impossible to get them just right, but that's pretty close. So now, my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and get this second rope on this knot. And I'm going to do another row of double half hitches right down beside that one. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing again with this right rope. And if you have a hard time with your knots being like down here and it's not right up against it, just pull your traveling rope up. And that'll make a nice tight knot right up against your previous row. Okay, I got this second row done, and I've left both of the tails of this unworked because I'm going to attach these two later, or these four later. Now for the other side, right here is my next knot to the right, and I'm going to take the right rope of this 10th one from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to take the right rope. That's going to be my traveling rope now, and I'm going to diagonal it down all the way to the end. And for this, it's just backwards to what I did on this side. Take the rope to the right, bring it up, put it through this loop right here. Pull it up tight. Again, 2 times. And go to the next rope to the right and do that all the way till you don't have ropes in this section. Okay, now as you're nearing the end of this section, you need to look over at the other side and see where you've stopped over here. Because remember, you want these to be pretty much level with each other because you're going to be attaching them later. So just sort of eyeball and make sure that you are on track to have these pretty close to the same height or on the same level as the one on the other section. You see, I'm pretty close there. Now for the next section, I'm going to do the same as I did on the other side here, and I'm going to make another row. I'm going to take the right cord, or the left cord, sorry, the left cord. That's going to be my traveling rope now to go right along the edge of this row here. And pull it up just like I did on the other side. Pull it up tight. And make sure it runs just right along the bottom edge. And you can see right there, I've left these 2 traveling ropes unworked again. Okay, for the next section, I'm going to take these 4 ropes right here in the middle, and I'm going to make a square knot with them. To make a square knot, you need 4 ropes. You're going to take the far left rope and bend it up into a 4 over these 2 middle ones. Take the right rope over this one, over the left, back behind everything and through this loop right here. And I'm going to pull it up pretty tight. That's the first part of your square knot. For your second part of it, you're going to take the right rope and bend it up over your 2 middle ones, and the left rope back behind and through this loop right here. And then pull the tails up tight. Now I'm going to do what we call a alternating square knot. So I'm going to come over to this side, to the left side. I'm going to take the 2 left ropes of this square knot that I just made, and the 2 ropes to the left of it. And I'm going to make another square knot there. Again, I'm going to pull this up pretty tight. And I'm making sure that my 2 middle ropes here don't twist on me. Make the second part of that square knot and pull it tight. Now I'm going to go over to the right side of this top square knot and get the 2 right ropes of it and the 2 right next to it to the right and make another one. Second half of the square knot there and pull them up tight. And you can see that's what it's doing. Now the next one, we're going to go right below that. We're going to take the 2 left ones from this square knot on the second row and the 2 right to the left of it and make another square knot there. Pull them up tight. Now you take the next 4 ropes to the left. Make another square knot there. Doing it this way, you're going to have more square knots on each row that you do. I started out with 1, then went to 2, and now I'm going to have 3. And I'm going to continue this until I don't have any more ropes to work up other than my traveling ropes. My traveling ropes are going to be left free on the edges. I believe you will have about 9 square knots in your last row. Okay, hopefully you can see this. This is my last row of square knots that I'm going to put on. These are my 2 traveling ropes over here. And here are my last 2 of the working ropes here. So I'm going to get the 2 here on the left and the 2 to the right, right beside them. And I'm going to do my last row of square knots. And I'm sucking them up pretty tight up against the ones on top of them. I don't know, with this pattern it just seems to be looking a little bit better. Now there's the starting of the last row. Now I go to the right and get the 4 next ropes to the right. And again, just go to the 4 next ropes. And I'm pulling them up in there just about as tightly as I can get them. And here's my last one. I'm going to get the 2 there and the free 2 here. I'm going to do another square knot right there. This will be the last square knot. I want to get it pretty tight. And there's that section done. Okay, for the next part of this pattern, we are going to count our square knots over to find the middle. So we're going to have 4 square knots and then a middle knot. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is my middle square knot. That is where I'm going to put a bead right here. But first I'm going to do a double half hitch all the way to the middle from the side. I'm going to take this far rope right here, not the traveling ropes that I used earlier, but the last square knot rope on the right side, and I'm going to bring it just right across the bottom. I'm going to do a double half hitch all the way to the middle. So it's just like what we did up top, except instead of going diagonal down, we're just going straight across the bottom of these square knots. Which you might get off of them just a little bit, but it won't be enough to really tell or mess it up that bad if you don't get, way down here. Just try to stay right at the bottom of them. Okay, so here I'm all the way to my middle square knot, and these are the 2 middle ropes of it. I'm just going to do half of this square knot. Just like that. Now here's the other half of it that I'm going to leave unworked. And I'm going to come over to the other side. I'm going to get this far, not that one, this one that is the end of this square knot row, and I'm going to go to the middle with it as well. Again, running just along the bottom edge of the square knots. Okay, so I've got my double half hitch coming over on both sides, and you can see right here I've got 2 ends. The 2 ends right there in the middle. Now since this one's going under that one already, I'm just going to continue that same stitch. Well, actually no. I'm going to go with this one. This one's going over, the left one's going over the right, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue this stitch on and tie them in right just like this. And that makes a little point there. Okay, now with these 2 middle ropes right here in the center, I am going to put a bead on them. And all I'm going to do for that is I'm just going to put the rope down into the bead. I'm going to put both ropes through the bead, so I'm going to use the end of my crochet hook to feed this one down in there. I'm just going to put it on and shove it down in there with the end of my hook. So it gets all the way to the bottom, and then I can pull it through. Now, I know you can't see the bead right this minute, but I'm going to put the bead all the way up to the top like this, and then I'm going to take the ends, and I'm just going to tie a knot in them, a regular old knot. There's a loop, and I'm going to put the ends through that loop. and pull it tight. And now my bead is going to sit down like that. I know it's out of the shot, but I will let you see it in just a second. Okay. And there is the bead hanging on the lampshade. I know it's sort of cockeyed, but there, that's better. Okay, now I'll show you how to tie in the ends in between the sections. Here are my traveling ropes that I've been telling you, don't work in, don't work in. Well, now we're going to work them up. And I'm going to bring the 2 lower ropes here up and over the 2 top ropes. And they are just going to be not worked. I'm going to make a spiral stitch. To do that, I'm going to just make half of a square knot. So I'm going to bend up the left one and take this one over, back around through this loop. And I'm going to pull it sort of tight and make sure these come down good. Now I'm going to just do that same thing again, and it's going to make it turn for us. Put that up tight. And I'm going to do this 10 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see it's starting to turn. Now you can see there's 10 there, and you just turn it and it spirals. Okay, next I'm going to put a bead on here, but you can see I don't have enough rope here to do the square knot underneath the bead to hold it on. So I'm going to switch these ropes. I'm going to make these longer ropes be on the outside, and I'm going to put the bead on these shorter ropes. Use my crochet hook again to make them go through. And I just push it down in there with the end of the crochet hook until I can grab it out the other side. Now I'm going to put this bead all the way up to the top here, all the way up against my square knots, or my spiral stitch knot. And then I'm going to take these and I'm just going to do a normal square knot on the bottom of this bead. There's half of it, and here's the other half. And there it is. Now, you're going to do all of your sections the same way, and all of in between the sections the same way. Okay, everybody, and here it is. I think it turned out really neat. It's just neat. It's taken a long time to do. I've been working on this project for probably 3 weeks now. But I think it was so worth it. So if you have a lamp that you like the shade, but you don't like the shade, just put something pretty on it and go with it. And there it is. I really liked making this with y'all, and I hope you liked it too. If you did, give me a good thumbs up and subscribe. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.